eating well for optimum health, the flat belly diet. I actually have a person that I train that's actually in that book, The Flat Belly Diet. But I take a four-prong approach. The first one is readiness to change. We're going to go over these. The second one is sound dietary principles based on science. Third one is cardio exercises that goes beyond doing machines like treadmills, ellipticals, and things like that. You can do this at your own home. And of course, some abdominal exercises. I will not, however, have time to go through an entire body workout, which I strongly encourage. But we just won't have time on the show. Okay, so the first one, readiness to change. Now, these are the 5 stages of change I'm going to talk about. And you can see this on, if you Google it, they're everywhere on the internet. Just Google 5 stages of change. I'm going to just basically list them. And then later I may talk about the important ones. Okay, at least the ones I think are important. But the first one is pre-contemplation. The second one is contemplation. The third one is preparation. And the fourth one is action, which this is where I can truly help somebody in this stage. They're ready to take action. And the 5th stage is maintenance. When I was doing lectures at the hospital, at the Metro West Wellness Center, extension of the hospital, I used to do a lecture twice a year on weight loss. And I would tell people would ask me, how successful is your weight loss program? And I would tell them, how ready are you? You could have the best program for weight loss, but if the person's not ready, most likely they're going to fail. On the other hand, you could have the worst program, and anything will work if that person is ready. Slim Fast would work for that person. So it's really all about readiness. What I do, excuse me, I'm going to get some water here. It's informal. Sorry about that. So basically, what I give people is a commitment sheet. This is some of the strategies I use to, number one, see with somebody if they're ready. And number 2, it just puts it on paper. It has something powerful. I got it from Tom Hopkins. And Tom Hopkins is a person like Tony Robbins. He's a motivational speaker. Not many people have heard of him. It was I had this back in the late 80s, 90s. So I tweaked it to what I thought was best for what I'm doing. So the first thing they write down is the goal. In this case, fat loss. I'll use a skin-fold caliper to measure the fat, the overall body fat, as well as a tape measure to measure the fat around the waist. Now, a waist size of 40 inches, excuse me, I don't know what's the matter with me today, 40 inches or higher is considered a risk factor for men. 35 inches or higher is a risk factor for females. So we measure the waist, and we also write down a goal date at which we both agree on that's realistic. If I'm doing a body fat and somebody, let's say it's 30%, I'll say let's get down to 25% in 3 months. So usually that works pretty well. I look at that, and also we do a waist size measurement as well, like I said. They also write down the obstacles. Now, and the rewards for achieving this goal. Now, this is, I find that people that don't have any obstacles, I'll ask them, what are your obstacles? And they say, I don't have any. That was a red flag to me. I'm thinking that pre-contemplation stage, even though we didn't go over it, but we're going over it now. They're in denial. Because if they didn't have any obstacles, how did they end up at the weight they're at? Yes, there are certain situations where someone is gaining weight beyond their self-discipline, like maybe certain medications like beta blockers. They primarily use for high blood pressure. We also have a lot of the antidepressant medications that are out, the old ones as well as the new SSRIs. I've heard Cymbalta is weight neutral, though, and Wellbutrin, but the rest of the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors like Celexa, Lexapro, and it really depends on the person, but some people actually increase appetite on those drugs and can gain weight. So aside from that, getting back to the commitment sheet, so again, I try to really get them to find what's the obstacles, and sometimes if I speak long enough with them, I will get to, they will get together, we'll get something out of them. They also write down a plan of action to achieve the goal. It's important to write that down, what we're going to do to get there. And I love this one. I ask them to distribute, I have them copy it, and I ask them to distribute to 3 or